Protect your DNA. BioPQQ can promote formation of new mitochondria. Infowarsstore.com.
Now, in other news, we see that CPAC this last week has had a lot of amazing announcements. We had Michael Hayden, former director of the NSA, the CIA, describing himself as an unrelenting libertarian. Yeah, right. We also saw Jeb Bush refuse to even walk back any of his amnesty policies on illegal immigration, saying that we still needed to go ahead and extend educational benefits to them that even American citizens don't get. Talking about voting rights, driver's licenses, nothing. He would not walk back any of that. But one of the most amazing things that came out of it, of course, was a reaction to Scott Walker's comments comparing protesters against his, many would characterize it as anti-union tactics. The unions are very upset about what he's done as governor. He characterizes it, and I would believe it was right to work laws that he was putting through. But nevertheless, he compared the 100,000 protesters that he had to deal with, saying that if he could deal with them, he could deal with ISIS. Many people said, you're essentially equating people who are political dissidents in this country with ISIS. That's maybe a bit of a stretch, but what is not a stretch is a panel that was held at CPAC. This panel says, when should America go to war? Very good question. Here's what the GOP says about it, according to Reason. They say they advocated preemptive war against Iran. They wanted a significant jacking up of the U.S. military budget. They wanted sharply increased readiness to go to war in order to prevent having to go to war. Yes, the real scandal was not what Scott Walker said, but the willingness of the GOP to go to war. Here's some of the quotes. U.S. policy today, yesterday, and tomorrow should be the overthrow of the Ayatollahs. That's Bolton talking. Another one says we left Iraq too soon. Another one says, yes, we did leave too soon, and we have to re-engage. And another one, second side, says we have a duty to fight ISIS. We have to use preemptive use of military force, and it's necessary. No war that they can imagine is one that they don't want to get involved in. And that's the real scandal that comes out of the neocons, even at a conference that is noted for being one of the most libertarian in the GOP. Now, we also see that our government has essentially declared war here in America. I should say our dictator, Obama, is at war with the Constitution. You didn't hear too much about that at CPAC, certainly not in that conference. And as Paul Joseph Watson points out, there's a run on AR-15 ammo, a buying frenzy, as some fear a total gun ban. Not banning the guns, but taking away the ammunition, turning the guns into empty clubs, essentially. And people understand where this is going. The people who own firearms know exactly where this is going. Listen to what one hunter said when they talked to him in the store. They said, once they get this particular bullet off the market, they'll go for the next, and then the next. And then another man in Oklahoma told Channel 9 News, he says, I think it's them just trying to do little bits and pieces to get their ultimate goal to ban tactical style rifles. Doing little bits and pieces, going after one thing, then going after the next, and after the next, and after the next, that's called infringement. The founders knew that would be the way that the Second Amendment would be destroyed. They knew that would be the way that the government would come after our God-given rights, little by little. In the First Amendment, they say Congress shall make no law. They knew that they could outlaw free speech with one fell swoop. But when it comes to guns, they're going to have to take it little by little, and we have to fight them every inch of the way and not allow them to do that. Now, we also see that the IRS, in another story, is defending payments to illegals who had never filed taxes. The IRS is defending its decision to let illegal immigrants claim up to 3 years refunds on income, even if they never paid income taxes. And they're telling Congress in a new letter last week that the IRS agency lawyers have concluded that getting a Social Security number triggers the ability to go back and ask for previous refunds. They say it is not required to have a Social Security number before the close of the year for which the earned income tax credit is claimed. Last week when I talked to the people with welcoming cities and counties, essentially welcoming immigrants, and of course, as a lady pointed out, she made no distinction between legal and illegal immigrants. She was quick to point out that They have career paths that they're working for immigrants. She said 25% of the people here in Austin are high-tech workers. The way that's playing out in California is we have foreign workers who are processing unemployment checks for Californians. That's what it's come to. We have a department with $200 million budget, the Employment Development Department, and with the exception of 2 managers, everyone inside the office is from outside the U.S., mostly Indian nationals. Now, this is a visa program that's been used by tech companies like Microsoft, Intel, Google, and Facebook. They report on one man here who lost his job, who worked for Hewlett-Packard. He was laid off from the Roseville plant during the height of the H-1B program, when as many as 300,000 workers were allowed to take jobs in the U.S., not jobs flipping burgers, not jobs working in fields that they tell us that nobody in America wants to do, so they're bringing in people from outside the country. These are jobs that people do want. This man got laid off just before Christmas in 1996, 2 weeks, in fact. He says he's afraid more Americans will be replaced by foreign-born workers. He said, I'm single income in my family, so on that particular day, as a direct result of this program, we were unable to provide Christmas presents, and I kept telling my kids that Santa might not show up. So the question is, are the lower wages that you're going to be getting because they're bringing in so many foreign workers and the higher taxes that you're going to be paying for schools and other benefits, other entitlements that they're extending, is that going to make it impossible for you to keep your home, for example? Not just lose your job, not just have lower income. Are you going to lose your home trying to keep this entitlement state that is exploding afloat? Well, there was a global warming meeting at the state capitol in Texas, and Jakari Jackson has that report. Is it a national security threat, as they were telling us, or is it the threat of new taxes? Stay with us. We'll be right back.
The knowledge of the ancients, tried and true, trusted herbs and extracts fused with the latest nutraceutical science. Introducing the all-new Ancient Defense Herbal Immunity Blend, crafted with over 14 key ancient herbs and extracts to supercharge and prepare your body for what experts admit is the most dangerous season of the year. We have rejected hundreds of other formulations in our quest to bring you what is simply the most powerful and comprehensive proprietary formula that we have ever created in the realm of herbal immunity. For the last 2 years, our team has been working with top doctors, nutritionists, and chemists to develop the ultimate nutraceutical formulation. Experience the benefits of combining over 14 ancient herbs and extracts with exciting new advances in nutraceutical science. For a limited time, get 25% off on this introductory offer. Visit ancientdefense.com or call 888-253-3139. ancientdefense.com.